Welcome to the third installment of Derby Test Track. How much does weight matter? We are told that heavier cars are faster. But did you ever wonder just how much a minor change in the car's weight will actually impact its performance? No? Okay, move on to another video. If you are curious to know, watch on. In this episode we will take a car and gradually reduce its weight, and let the timer on our 42-foot aluminum track tell us how those minor changes in weight affected our car's elapsed times on the track. When an object has height above the ground, it has gravitational potential energy due to its position. This potential energy is calculated by multiplying the mass, or weight, of the object by the acceleration due to gravity, multiplied by the height it can fall. The heavier of two objects at the same height will have more potential energy. As the object falls, or in our case as our Pinewood Derby car rolls down the elevated portion of the track, its potential energy is converted into kinetic energy through the work done by gravity, resulting in an increase in the car's velocity. Once our car reaches the bottom of the inclined portion of the track, all its potential energy has been converted into kinetic energy, minus losses to friction and rotational torque on the way down. Now let's see what small changes in weight actually do to our elapsed times. Design of the experiment. The objective of this experiment was to evaluate the effect of total weight on a car's elapsed time. We designed our experiment to minimize external variables and to provide information that is representative of actual race results. There are always random and uncontrolled variables in such tests due to starting gate bounce, rough track section joints, the number of times a car makes contact with the guide strip, etc., causing us to not always get the results we expected when making relatively minor changes in known variables. Experiment parameters. 1. A long wheelbase test car was constructed that allowed the addition or removal of weight. This experiment was not intended to evaluate the effect of center of gravity. See our center of gravity video for the results of that experiment. In this experiment our ability to maintain a constant CG while taking weight off the car was limited. However, the limited CG movement in this test was not a significant factor. 2. The car was weighted for an initial weight of 5 1/10 ounces. More about the extra 1/10 of an ounce in a minute. 3. Tape was placed over open weight pockets to minimize any potential aerodynamic impact. 4. Maximum velocity nickel speed axles and maximum velocity precision wheels with super lube silicone oil 100 CST lube was reapplied to inside edge of the wheels between weight changes. 5. The test car was constructed as a three-wheeler, with a 60 thousandths lift of the left front axle, and 0 degrees toe, 0 degrees camber. No rail riding, no bent axles. 6. The center lane of our 42-foot best track, with leveling kit and champ timer, was used for all test runs. Test runs were conducted indoors, on the same day, at 74 degrees Fahrenheit. 7. An alignment jig was used to help ensure consistent car body alignment and wheel spacing at the start of each test run. 8. 5 test runs were made at each weight to establish average and median elapsed times. Why did we look at a 5.1 ounce starting weight instead of 5 ounces? Over the near 40 years we have been intermittently doing Pinewood Derby, we have seen poorly calibrated official weigh-in scales that read light, and some that read heavy. With the proliferation of cheap, accurate, digital scales, this is now less of an issue. You can buy a good, 200-gram, digital scale on Amazon for as little as $10. 5 ounces is 142 grams. However, as recently as 2024, we have seen some race officials allow a weight of up to 1/10 of an ounce over, when weighing cars in ounces at check-in. Therefore, the more determined racers might consider deliberately building their car slightly heavier than the maximum allowed weight of 5 ounces, but not so much more that they have to destroy their car to make weight. We recommend an initial weight of no more than 5.1 ounces. To remove weight at weigh-in, bring a drill or Dremel tool with router bit to remove wood from the underside of your car, or to drill into your weights. Cover the holes with Scotch tape to maintain aerodynamics. If you used soft lead or zinc weights, they can be easily drilled into to remove weight. However, tungsten weights are not easily drilled into. But is all this worth the extra effort? That's what this experiment is all about. If we have a car weighing 5 ounces, or 0.1417475 kilograms, aka our mass. Acceleration due to gravity of 9.8 meters per second squared. With a center of gravity difference of 1.15 meters between the car's center of gravity at the starting gate, and its center of gravity once it reaches the flat part of the track. In other terms, the car will fall 45.276 inches. Our car's potential energy would be 1.59752 joules in this scenario. As shown here on the table of potential energies for our car at the various weights we tested. Based on our potential energy calculations, if we give up 1/10 of an ounce, dropping our weight from 5 ounces to 4.9 ounces, we are giving up 2% of our potential energy. That may not seem like a lot, but in a close race it could be the difference between winning and losing. And if our car was half an ounce light, we would be giving up 10% of our potential energy. That's huge. Now shown are the measured elapsed times for each tested weight. Based on median measured ETs, that 2% loss in potential energy resulted in a loss of 4.5 thousandths of a second. Doesn't sound like much until you consider that the difference between first and second place for Tiger Cubs at a council race earlier this year was only 7.5 thousandths of a second. And when weight was reduced from 5 to 4.5 ounces, our median ET dropped by 10 thousandths of a second. 10 thousandths of a second is a lot to give up when racing highly competitive cars. And it's so easily avoided. All you need is that $10 digital scale and some small weights. Glue the weight on the top of the car if you have to. Let us clarify that the 5 ounces median ET shown does not necessarily mean that 5 ounces is faster than 5 1/10 ounces. Such unexpected results are due to noise in the data from uncontrolled variables when making minor changes to known variables. We didn't massage or tweak the data to suit the narrative. So, what conclusions can we draw? A car weighing 4.5 ounces instead of 5 ounces gives up 10% of its potential energy. That loss of 10% potential energy was a loss of 10 to 15 thousandths of a second, or approximately 3 to 5 thousandths of a second per 1/10 ounce of weight. The 3 to 5 thousandths of a second per 1/10 ounce is small enough that the gain or loss may not be seen in actual race times, since variations in ETs due to uncontrolled variables can outweigh such a small gain or loss. Serious racers are not going to give up 3 to 5 thousandths of a second, even if that gain may be too small to be seen amongst background noise, when 3 to 5 thousandths of a second could be the margin of victory. Bigger performance gains can be found in other aspects of your car build and lubrication, compared to adding 1/10 ounce to your car's weight. But that said, don't show up light. You'll be throwing away free energy and speed. If you don't have your own digital scale, get one. Thanks for watching. If you found this information valuable, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more Pinewood Derby and Rain Gutter Regatta content. Disclaimer: the content of this video is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Derby Test Track was not sponsored by the manufacturers or retailers of any products used in this video at the time of testing or production of this video. Derby Test Track has made its best effort to conduct all tests fairly and impartially. Your results could be different. Derby Test Track and the creator assume no responsibility for injuries or damages resulting from the information provided or use of the products tested.